Hello everybody, welcome back to another live stream. So, you join me, here we are, T-minus 47 minutes. We have a gorgeous Falcon 9. It's too hot, guys, honestly, it's far too hot here in the UK. So, we have a lovely Falcon Heavy. So, as you can see, the middle center core has no landing legs and it has no grid fins. We have got an expanded booster. Unfortunately, we originally had the ideas of three actual fully recoverable things, but to be fair, this is a heavy lift thing, so it's never going to be fully, reusable. But I'm now going to add their sound, and they're answering some questions. So let's see.
Main driving force for the weather on Earth. Big question.
Yeah, it's the sun.
I'm just going to quickly do something.
The sun causes all of our weather, climate, sunlight, the tilt of the earth,
Perfect.
and on the seasons. It's all.
Where'd it go?
And I imagine water on Earth plays a role. But if you're talking about the main driving force, it's the sun.
Oh, sure, yeah, globally it's the sun.
All right, very good. And we have another question.
We've
got Robin Kim on Instagram, and she asks, how is it different, Goes You that is, from other Goes satellites?
Yeah, Goes You is the same as the other in the series, except for the addition of the C-Core. And we're excited about the C-Core instrument.
There we go. You guys can hear me a bit better.
And yeah, that's our new instrument, and we're really looking forward to seeing it in action.
How many of this particular series have been launched? We mentioned this is the fourth, so there have been 4, right? And
There we go.
Back to 2016
Right.
when this particular technology came out?
This series, yeah, that's right. Once Goes You's in space, it'll be renamed.
Ignore all the mess over here. I am currently sorting out my rack behind me.
Yeah, currently we have Goes 16 in the Goes East position, and once Goes You finishes checkout and is ready for replacement later next spring, we'll move Goes 16 into orbital storage, and it'll be a backup, a hot backup, in case there's any problems with either Goes West or Goes East.
It's technically called a warm backup, but
How are you doing on bingo, by the way?
I don't know, where are we at?
I already scored. I think I'm winning. One more question for social media. Let's hit it. This is the last one. INS on Instagram asks, why won't Europe be monitored by the satellite?
Stage 1, DY, and NY launch load has started.
And those are the boosters loading rocks into the first stage boosters.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, we're moving. It's happening.
Yeah, this is a geostationary satellite, and so with Goes East and Goes West, we have complete coverage of the Western Hemisphere. It's a crucial piece of the geo ring. We have international partnerships, and so international partners have their own geostationary satellites, and they monitor other parts of the globe.
All right, thank you, Alec. And it's not too late to send in more questions. Just remember, you can go to #AskNASA on NASA's YouTube, Facebook, X, and Twitch platforms. All right, every rocket that launches from the Space Coast has a dedicated launch weather officer. And boy, that LWO, as they're called for short, is working hard today. That person is responsible for making the probability for go. So let's check in now with Philip Hargrove, who's with the 45th Weather Squadron's LWO, Melody Lovin.
Thanks, Daryl. Yes, I'm here with Melody Lovin from the 45th Weather Squadron at Cape Canaveral. Thanks for being with me.
My pleasure.
Awesome. So you have an extensive background in meteorology. Can you tell us what makes launch weather forecasting so unique?
Absolutely. So before I was a launch weather officer with the 45th, I actually was a meteorologist with the National Weather Service. So that's kind of a general field where your job is to protect life and property. And your main goal is to really get the forecast right and to basically, predict the best you can just severe weather risks and, general chance of rain, temperatures, et cetera, et cetera. But protection of life and property is your goal there. With being a launch weather officer, it's much more different. It's very
much more different.
Exactly on the pad with how things are going to play out from the pad and 10 miles out from the pad. The other thing is I'm looking for threats that would never really affect the average person. So we all know that we can't launch into thunderstorms or any.
Yeah, we can.
What I'm looking for on launch day is the risk of triggered lightning from the rocket, because we're essentially sending the rocket. We're sending a charged rod into the sky. We've done half the work for the atmosphere already to produce that lightning. So
I mean, it would be cool for like the last ever Falcon 9. They just send it up like, and we just see what happens.
Today for the detached anvil rule. So they're really kind of convoluted threats, situations where it's very unique to this field.
Right, it seems pretty complex. So how does that percent go number get determined?
Well, that's the key question, isn't it? So really what we do is we first diagnose the weather patterns. So we look at the situation, kind of like today we knew we would have some light westerly flow. Normally when we have westerly flow, that's bad news for us in the afternoon, which, of course, that's when we're launching today, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. roughly. So that's why we started with a high probability of violation. We generally, know that we're going to be above 50% because from a climatological perspective, we're likely to have thunderstorms during that time frame. And then we delve closer and we look at the finite differences today versus a general day in weather. So today we had much higher moisture than we normally do. So initially it seemed like our POV was up to 70%, but now we know locally we have a sea breeze boundary pushing inland that's helping us a little bit. So now our POV has dropped a little bit.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and excited to see this goes satellite launch. Thank you, Melody. Back to you, Daryl.
Nice.
Thank you very much, Philip and Melody. She's an LWO, as we mentioned. The LWO for the mission today is Brian Sizik, and he's been earning his paycheck today, helping the SpaceX navigate the launch window. Of course, we slipped 10 minutes so that we can get a little bit better weather in the launch window. Now, GOES-U will warn us about severe weather here on Earth, but also space weather, like geomagnetic storms. And those can have implications for not only satellites and astronauts in space, but also communications, aviation, and electric power here on Earth.
Geostationary
To improve solar weather forecasting, there's a brand new instrument called the Compact Coronagraph, or CCOR, and it's flying for the first time on GOES-U satellite. And this is a model of one.
It looks pretty cool.
Like nearly every instrument from the satellite here. We really appreciate that. How does this thing work?
Oh yeah, we got a lot to show off. This is a real life model, and it also has a door. So the front end is here, and it's pointing at the sun to image the sun. This looks like a telescope. It is a telescope. The sun's
It looks like it's 3D printed.
Resolution look at the sun. The information goes to the telescope. We have a little disc there in the middle that blocks out the light from the sun itself because we are trying to see the sun's atmosphere.
How does it improve solar weather forecasting?
That's right. So by understanding the corona, the sun's atmosphere, we're able to better see and understand the bursts that come from the sun. A lot of plasma and radiation coming towards Earth. And so we're seeing some of that now. Yeah, CME. And so some of these explosions, when they come towards Earth, they could scramble communications, they could cause blackouts.
You can have the aurora.
And in this image that we're seeing right here, like it really starts lighting up. I mean, all of this energy coming at us. You mentioned the Northern Lights. We just had a pretty big solar event that lit up auroras across the country in areas that would never imagine.
Yeah.
Where you'd see Northern Lights.
Yeah, and around the world. My friend saw the Northern
Thank
Lights
you.
downtown London, outside of her apartment.
Yeah.
I had a chance to catch them at Shenandoah National Park outside DC, and that was a really unique event. Seeing it coast to coast and down south like that was incredible.
It's amazing. People here in Florida took pictures that captured it, but I didn't see it. A lot of folks didn't actually see it in the sky. So I think
I saw it.
This far south there, it's hard to see. Well, this is a tremendous instrument, only on GOES-U, right?
That's right. And I mentioned earlier, it's a historic first for NOAA. This is the first time we've had an operational coronagraph. Our Space Weather Prediction Center in Boulder, Colorado.
Colorado.
To issue space weather warnings. Like I mentioned earlier, space weather can affect communications. It can affect GPS. and it can impact even safe operations of satellites in space and even astronaut safety.
And the sun
Oh, God.
is the biggest, contributor to solar radiation, all space radiation here on Earth and low Earth orbit. But NASA managers, well, they want to plan the Artemis 2 mission. If you haven't heard about it,
Yep, the Artemis 2.
astronauts back to explore areas of the moon. They will need tools to forecast the radiation that is happening there, especially as it impacts crews' health. So here's now more on how GoesU will play a role in our Artemis Moon Minute.
When NASA launches astronauts Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen on the Artemis 2 mission to the moon, NASA's Orion spacecraft will protect them from many hazards they could encounter. One of those is space radiation. When astronauts travel in space, they can't see or even feel radiation. However, NASA scientists are studying the effects radiation plays on the human body and developing ways to monitor and protect against this silent hazard. Space radiation...
Guys, I'm also watching the football at the same time, by the way. Just to let you know.
Flares and coronal mass ejections. But space radiation also comes from high-energy galactic cosmic rays, or GCRs, which are particles coming from outside our solar system that are formed by events like collapsing stars.
Just gotta take a photo and send it to
Is when astronauts
the boys.
outside the spacecraft performing an extravehicular activity, or
Oh,
EVA,
go on.
in space or on the surface.
Oh, missed.
We currently monitor changes to space radiation levels from both solar storms and GCRs thanks to NOAA's GOES satellites. EVAs can be rescheduled, and NASA has areas inside Orion where astronauts can take shelter during space weather storms. That's been your Artemis Moon Minute.
That's your Artemis Moon Minute. I actually can't wait for Artemis.
Check this out.
Look how much flex.
Vapor at night, the GOES East satellite captured this imagery from the Artemis 1 launch in November of 2022. Orion and the Space Launch System rocket broke through the clouds and left a hole in its wake. You see the hole open up there? It streaked through the atmosphere, taking off there. And of course, the launch of Artemis 2, which is currently scheduled in 2025, will also be captured. That'll be captured by GoesU after it becomes the primary satellite for GOES East. At the top of the show, we started loading the 3 first stage boosters. Next is the second stage. So let's check back in with Megan and Nick.
Megan and Mick.
In about 17 seconds, we expect SpaceX to begin loading RP-1 or rocket-grade kerosene into the rocket's second stage. And there you go. That's the call out.
Come on.
Now we are loading
No.
both RP-1 and liquid oxygen.
Here we go, guys.
That is correct. We got RP1 and liquid oxygen going into the first stage 3.
So our T minus has been pushed back to 26 minutes past the hour. That's fine because we were at 30% chance of violation. Look at the Starship Tower. Look at that.
Second stage, so things
Is this?
well as we head towards a 526.
Ah, we got 4K. There we go. Oh, that looks so much better already.
So to get RP-1 into the second stage, RP-1 has to first flow through the strong back, right? And that's that structure on the side of the rocket. Right now it's behind the rocket from this view that you're seeing.
Here we go.
This is the structure that provides propellants and electricity to the rocket until just before launch. And at T-minus 22 minutes, you're going to hear a call out to chill down that strong back and that's to get it ready to load the really, really cold liquid oxygen into the second stage.
There you go, dumb.
Minus 341, densified lock
0-0.
start flowing up through the,
What a shit game. Sorry guys, if any of you are into football that are watching right now, England are absolutely terrible. How the fuck are we?
We could do thermal shock to the system, right?
That's correct. Yeah, we don't want to do that as we load these propellants. We want to keep moving, but things are looking good. And the team is moving forward.
All right. And so the GoesU satellite is bound for geostationary orbit. NASA's Philip Hargrove has the complicated trajectory needed to get it there.
Fucking hell.
I'm joined by LSP flight design analyst Mark.
Ooh, so this is actually going to show us where it's going.
Talk a bit about the GOES-U mission trajectory. So the G in GOES stands for geostationary. Can you explain what that means?
A geostationary orbit is a circular orbit around the equator, about 22,000, just over 22,000 miles in altitude above the Earth. What's unique about that number is, at that altitude, it takes 24 hours to complete one revolution around the Earth. What else happens 24 hours, one revolution? The Earth
Yes, nice.
axis in 24 hours or 1 day. So if you pair those,
Oh man, I'm dying, guys.
put the satellite above a particular location over the Earth, as the Earth rotates one revolution per day, and the satellite moves at that same rate, the satellite will remain over that location over the Earth, stationary, geostationary. In terms of what we're going to see on launch day, we don't have the performance to take it all the way to the mission orbit. Instead, we're going to go to what we call a geostationary transfer orbit, or GT.
Transfer
What
orbit.
that basically means is we're going to take it the majority of the way there, and what's most important for them is to have the sun in a particular location during that ascent sequence. So as they perform their design of how those all maneuvers would map out, they determine what the launch time would be to put the sun in the proper location for that ascent sequence.
So for this mission, we know that there's a long coast after the second burn of the upper stage. Can you explain why it's designed that way?
Sure. Right. This is a 3-burn mission. You can see the
Oh,
first
God.
2 burns mapped out here. Those 2 burns.
Finally, some proper entertainment.
After that, then we do have this long coast period. 4-hour coast until we get to the.
Hello, Daily.
So
Yeah, I've just watched the end of it, and oh my
raise the
god.
coast side of the orbit from about 100 miles to about 10,000 miles in altitude. At the same time, you can see here.
Jesus
we're
Christ.
also gonna
What a
raise
mess.
that angle with respect to the equator.
We are more stiff than I am playing bloody cricket, golf.
Have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Since 1975, GOES satellites have provided continuous imagery and data on atmospheric conditions and solar
We could
activity,
probably get the
resulting
Dutch.
in
Oh,
more
okay.
accurate and timely weather forecasts. Here's more about the legacy of NOAA's weather satellites.
Oh, I really. Ooh.
It all began back in October 1975 with the launch of NOAA's GOES-1 satellite.
So they've launched loads of these.
Weather forecasting since the early balloon launching days, thanks mainly to weather satellites.
As groundbreaking as it was, it had limited capabilities and only viewed Earth about 10% of the time. By 1980, a new series of GOES satellites went into orbit. These satellites had the capability to obtain vertical profiles of temperature and moisture throughout the various layers of the atmosphere.
That's pretty good.
In 1994, GOES-I was launched, and with it came significant improvements in the resolution, quantity, and continuity of GOES imagery and data, thanks to a new 3-axis method of stabilization. Once it reached orbit, it was renamed GOES-8 and gave forecasters more accurate information to pinpoint locations of storms, wildfires, and other hazards.
Oh, okay.
By the mid-2000s, GOES-N, GOES-O, and GOES-P further improved the imager and sounder resolution to better pinpoint the locations of intense storms. This satellite series also had improved optics, better batteries, and more power, allowing for more continuous imaging.
3, 2.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, some people just need a bit of time.
2016, the current generation of geostationary satellites was launched, the GOES-R series. With this series came new advancements that included state-of-the-art instruments like the Geostationary Lightning Mapper and the Advanced Baseline Imager, or ABI. For nearly 50 years, the GOES satellites have provided a unique view of Earth. As the program advanced, so did the technology.
Is your college tasters tomorrow? Just focus on your college tasters, you know.
Space weather monitoring satellite system that helps
God, it's so hot in here. I need to. It's
environment.
28 degrees. I'm just going to open up the doors, guys. It's too bloody hot
With the
in
help
here.
of GOES data, NOAA weather forecasters predict above normal hurricane activity in the
Let me
Atlantic
open up the
Basin.
door. You might be able to hear
with
my
17
fish
to
pond.
25 total named storms, including 4 to 7 major hurricanes with winds of 111 miles per hour or higher. Ghost satellites
Right,
have
how
predicted
else?
the
Let
severity
me just
and
see if I
impact
can
of
turn the
the
lights off.
jet
Let's
stream.
see what happens if I turn the lights off. Is it going to be, because they are very, very hot. Right, you guys can just about see me.
So the coral ring
Right,
satellites
I had a
since the geostationary
ring light
forecast,
here the other day.
get great pictures. It's
Let's
really
just
hard
see.
to measure what is the state of the atmosphere from that distance. So
Just
the
see if I
polar
can
orbit
find my
objects
ring
that are
light.
flying
I've been cleaning out the shed, guys. Soon the computer's not going to be here. It's actually going to be in the server cabinet. But he needs time. He does. Help me out to message, explain.
two things people always want to know about hurricanes.
Yeah.
How strong is it?
Yeah, just give him time.
And
Right.
certainly help with both of those. The ability to see clouds.
They're all the prime bottles.
Have you ever seen a picture of
Aha, found it.
and you can get a better weather forecast
Trying to reach over.
where it's going to hit.
Right, does this have a USB port on the side? No. Okay, that's fine. It's like 23. Yeah, it's really hot in here. I am sweating. My bag of chocolate has actually melted. Wow. That's how hot it is.
Allow a better understanding of the core of that hurricane and allow the forecasters a better predict precisely where that hurricane is going to hit.
Right, actually, we can just use, I don't need to worry about ports because actually, I have, yay, we have the old ring light. This is literally the ring light I started streaming with. So we're going to turn off the big light. It's like old times. I had this mounted literally right behind the camera.
Hurricane watch or hurricane warning goes into effect, people have notice and take action. That's really encouraging.
Yeah, give. Yeah, exactly.
Data from weather satellites is one way to track severe weather, but as
Oh, that is so much nicer. Already I feel there's less heat.
tool, but he's our guest.
Oh.
Read there. Join us now is Nick Underwood. He is
Honestly, I wish I had made like
not a tool, a hunter. Great.
I made like ventilation holes in the roof because I've got now sort of beginning of the winter I put was it winter? Yeah, it was around Christmas time. I put in insulation in the roof and my god does it works so well at the point that my little bathroom fan that I've got up there is actually too hot.
What is inside a hurricane that we need to know?
Yeah, currently it's already dropped down a degree since I've opened up the door. So, right, see what they're saying.
And all of that is vital for the forecasters. All right, you've got some amazing video that you shared with us flying in a hurricane. We want to play that now.
Man, it's so. Oh, what's this?
What it's like to fly inside a hurricane with 150 mile per hour winds.
Oh wow.
From our WP3D Orion, this is flying. That's actually flying through Hurricane Florence in 2018. And on the P3, it's kind of like being on a wooden roller coaster that's inside of an automatic park.
Outside 19, inside 20. Jeez. What is the word? What is?
It can certainly be a bumpy ride, yes.
It is currently where I am, if I can search it. Send it to Rwanda. Oh god. Hello Fats, nice to see you here.
And the better data we can collect up in the air, the more accurate this forecast
right there, are you catching some air right there? Looks like the bottom dropped out.
Yes, absolutely. You can
Damn.
a lot in these storms. You can certainly get some hefty bumps.
That is so cool.
A lot of turbulence, but it's exciting work and it's important work.
We saw the G4 here today at the shuttle landing.
What is going on?
A lot of people got to check it out.
Why is my weather app not working?
And that is a drone I didn't even realize that. Yeah, we have a drone that's going to come flying in. Watch how this thing flies.
Oh, here we go.
See this?
Oh.
Perfect. I didn't realize you guys had tools like this. What do you do with this?
So this is newer technology. We've been launching these out of our P3 Orion the last couple of years, and so these are able to get down to altitudes that we can't safely get to.
I'm okay. I'm tired. It's also very, very hot in here, so I'm fine. I'll be happier when I see a rocket launch. And also, if I can get my chair to go in the right spot, it's really annoying me today. Oh, Martin, you'll be happy to know Rich's. You've got a cooler box. No, I haven't. Me and Martin went to Costco yesterday, and I saw a cooler box, and I'm like, I was so close to buying it. But yeah, I was just like, no, not doing that.
Oh, anytime there's a landfall hurricane coming towards the U.S., we have the hurricane hunters up 24/7. We're tracking every observation.
Wow.
Every pass.
Oh, nice. Yeah, literally my chocolate buttons are melting.
2 years ago, in the Hurricane Ian, as it was working its way towards the coast of Florida, we were flying through at the point when it briefly intensified to Category 5. We were in the eye wall for what was 10 minutes, made it into the eye.
I had a fridge in here, but my problem was I had this big ass fridge, proper like under counter fridge. I put like 3 or 4 items in it.
Lots of lighting. I think there were over like 1,000 lightning strikes in the eye wall. Over a couple hours there.
Nah, see, I like milk chocolate has to be melty, very soft. I don't like chocolate in the fridge unless it is white chocolate, and 100% white chocolate is the best, and dark chocolate in the fridge. I've got, Martin, strawberry Fanta from Born Stores. I may have spent a bit of money on fake shit, not fake shit, American stuff. It's called Borden Stores. It's a local convenience store near us. And it's quite good.
Like GOES-R, GeoXO will continue NOAA's 5 decades of critical Earth-observing data. However, GeoXO will have
just hear the dog
barking. One of the new instruments will be an infrared sounder, which will allow weather forecasters to see the atmosphere in extremely fine detail.
It really looks at very fine slices of the atmosphere across a wide area, so that it builds up sort of a 3D view of what the atmosphere looks like. And forecasters can use that information to be very precise about their.
My wife can see me sticking me down.
How severe a storm is going to be.
How do you spell it? It's literally BORDEN, I think. It's literally just like one of them little pop-up shops. It's just a crappy one. It's not a chain or anything. Ow. Oh, actually, last night, guys, I played a bit of Flight Simulator. Speaking of just seeing all this, I did a flight from Gatwick Airport all the way down to Newquay. I go to Spa and Premier. Yeah, we have a Spa about a mile and a bit away from us, but we have a Tesco literally like 2 minutes up the road that we usually go to.
Another instrument will measure ocean color, which helps detect
on dock.
to our lakes and ocean, such as harmful
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Perhaps most critically, NOAA's GeoXO will also meet new needs for the data users,
man.
including forecasters,
How long have I lived here?
others who depend on receiving crucial environmental information across the west.
Right, it's currently 20.
These users are looking
Oh, come on,
for
phone.
advanced capabilities.
It was working a second ago. 20 degrees.
In this next generation.
The high was 28.
Start observing in the 2030s, but continue into the
Flipping Nora.
2040s. And with the changes on our planet and with the
And-
society's increased reliance on environmental information, it's really important to be able to serve this wider variety.
Too long. Too long. Exactly, yeah. Far too long. Right. I got my iPhone 10 up and running again. I fixed a few things on it.
Thank you, Daryl. I'm joined here by Irene Parker, the Deputy Associate Administrator for Systems.
Right, guys, can you hear them clearly? Because I don't know why, but they're very quiet in my ear.
It's a lot of words. We'll get into
And I don't know why. Because it's full volume. Their stream is full volume. It just sounds very quiet. 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 Okay.
And feeling the rumble, I'm just so looking forward to that.
Unique launch vehicle. And can you tell us what makes the GOES U satellite unique relative to the other
Right.
satellites in the GOES R series?
Oh,
Just gonna quickly.
So GOES R series was mostly focused on
There we
weather
go.
and sun aspects, but this GOES U has the compact.
Well, I think it's just their feed. I think their feed is generally quiet,
and it's the
which is really
what it
annoying.
basically does is it's going to look at the sun and it's going to be able to see a coronal mass injection.
Right, so we're T minus 16 minutes and 40 seconds.
He's like, Irene, think of it as the sun burping up a whole lot of plasma, a lot of gas, and it's coming straight at you. And what this is going to do with this instrument, the C-Core, is it's going to be
Shut up then.
able to see that and detect that. And as it comes closer to the Earth,
You can buy Fountain Strawberry from Spain for £1.50. This was £1.25. And it's the proper American stuff as well, not the one made in Europe.
all those wonderful things. And this
Where is it? Where does it say?
In our GOES R series, which happens to be the last one for the GOES R series, to have this capability, and I'm like super excited about that. But
Lemon.
what's amazing
Oh,
is it's opening the door for us to do
no,
more,
no,
and
no,
it's
no, 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 nah,
future Geo series
nah.
or Geo
Strawberry
Echo.
or
And
grape.
that series, we're gonna
I can't have anything else.
do things
Strawberry or grape.
in atmospheric composition. We're going to do things in ocean color and really
Or-
push boundaries in environmental
or
intelligence. So this
we
is
got
beginning with GOES U that
black
happens to have
grape,
before, but our next generation is
KA.
also, it's going to have some amazing instruments in there. But the other
Yes.
thing I don't want to forget that
I
GOES
love
U is
it.
still doing is for weather
Stream
forecasting,
loud on
right?
phone.
It is the bread and butter
Very
for
weird.
hurricane forecast, for lightning, for
It might be my
weather,
computer,
all
mainly,
of those
because
things this
I've
satellite
had a
is
few.
doing. So it's just going to be
Oh,
amazing
actually, I've got no
for
idea.
bird launch.
Thank
I'm
you
gonna
so
do
much.
that
Awesome
again.
stuff today and awesome stuff ahead. Thank you so much, Irene. Back to you, Daryl.
Watermelon. Oh, okay, yeah. What? Do you know what? Watermelon, strawberry and watermelon Lucozade. Now you can only get that in Spa in the little 500ml bottles. Oh God. Oh, mine. Is this your weather girl you like?
And I know that atmospheric scientists
No,
all over the
it's
country
not.
and the world are excited for GOES U. I know we are. Of course, that high-res everything. We're going to look at that lightning data. We're so excited for the aerosol.
Right,
information.
everything
This is
is
going to help forecast, and of course, we cover all of the biggest disasters, wildfires,
very weird.
all the way to hurricanes. GOES U is going to be wonderful. I've been talking to the space weather folks.
No,
and that coronavirus,
no
ooh,
gingers.
having a dedicated
Right.
peek at the sun every single day. GOES U is going to be big. And we can't
What is with this camera angle? Why is it a bit sideways? Someone sort of like slumped over a little bit.
There's a big launch. We have thousands of people joining us. But real quick about the Ginger Z thing. I mean, she talked about aerosols. Aerosols are detected on GOES U, but it's going to be really big in the next generation.
Oh, that's right. Atmospheric composition instrument on GeoXO. We'll be able to see it even better.
Right. Looking forward to that. Whenever there's a big launch, we have thousands of people visiting the Space Coast to feel and see the rocket firsthand, including a very special group that we want to show you right now. A special group. There they are, about 80 middle school students. How are they doing? Giving us a big old wave there.
So what's middle school? Is that like
The Students to Launch initiative.
year 7, year 8?
This is in partnership with NASA. These middle school students have traveled from all over the country to see today's launch. including as far north as New York and Maine, as far west as Nebraska.
Bloody hell, all the way up to Maine. Flipping Nora.
Students at Launch educates and inspires students across the U.S. to understand the challenges and objectives of spaceflight missions.
Christ.
Sometimes lead to careers in aerospace and astronautics, and that has to be one of the most enthusiastic groups I've ever seen at launch.
No, they were at my hotel this morning.
Oh, they were?
Very excited. Yeah, breakfast was a blast.
And so are you excited?
Oh yeah, we're getting
Oh,
close.
Cameron was like, yeah.
13 minutes and counting. There you see the rocket there. We've got a little bit of time to take a
Right,
few
middle
minutes
school.
questions. So let's pop one of those up now.
Which caters for children from the ages of 9 to 13 to 14. So it's basically
in the Goes Youth game.
like,
Oh, on the grounds, the sequence that we name them is
yeah,
letters.
year
So,
7 to 9.
The Goes R series has had goes R, S, T. Now we're at U, and so once it reaches.
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, go for it.
Goes 19.
Just part of the
Yeah, I'm not doing any dual streams anytime soon because my computer is dying.
A few more questions to get
Yeah, go for it.
look and watch the heavy, the Falcon Heavy on the pad there, getting ready to go for launch pad 39A. Yep, that's that LOX that's
Right.
condensing the warm air in the atmosphere.
Right, there we go.
All right, so we have Samuelo asks, how long will this spacecraft be in operation?
Okay, so the operational launch
20 years.
10 years.
No.
We expect performance longer than that. It's planned for a period of on-orbit storage, and so we should have 15 years of use, but really.
Yeah, keep the merch link in there.
As long as fuel usage goes okay.
I actually had someone buy some merch the other day.
They said that additional performance comes from the fact that that Falcon Heavy right there has a lot of performance.
Is
in it
this
for
more?
satellite, so it can stretch it out another 5 years.
Is this? I don't get it. Is this more?
A lot of life, and yeah, we will still
This is
have
more.
Goes
Oh, more exciting than the football. Actually, I was watching it on my left-hand monitor, and oh my god, terrible.
That up as we count down T-minus 11 minutes and counting.
There you go.
Why Falcon Heavy and not Falcon 9?
Oh man, this is a big satellite, and we're going to a big orbit. Let's get up to geostationary 22,236 miles above the Earth. Which is a big ride. So what else in the Falcon Heavy?
Yeah, and I heard somebody from the Launch Services Program during yesterday's.
I'm going to open up
press
this
conference
can as
said that
quietly as
Falcon
possible.
9 is right there at the limit of the weight of the GOES-U satellite, so that Falcon
There we go.
gives it the additional performance it needs to go up. And so, with just a few more minutes left, your thoughts, Alec, as we get down.
Do you know what?
Count the final minutes before
The strawberry Fanta wasn't as fizzy
It represents
because Falcon's it's fat.
and we're all excited to see this come together.
I love it. That's a good one.
Alec and I are headed outside to watch the launch, and so we'll send it out to
Right, isn't this the longest time between matches?
of the second stage. Take it away.
We got 4 days between now and our next
Nick
match.
and I are going nowhere. We're staying inside here, inside the Mission Director Center, inside Hangar AE.
I'm loving this, like,
Space Force Station, because
turn off the
this is where
big.
we
Oh,
continue to monitor the launch team as we march towards that
turn off the big lights. Go back to the old ring light.
On the Florida Space Coast. So right now, Mick, the spacecraft team is beginning.
I am a bit hot though. It is rather warm. It is.
That's right.
Starting to cool down. It's 25 degrees now, so it's gone down 2 degrees since I opened the door and turned off the big lights.
6 minutes, 5 minutes.
This is the problem now. I need to get like an air conditioner,
Disconnecting from the ground.
a proper fit an air conditioner to this building.
So the last time you guys were with us, the launch team
Pardon me.
super cold.
Jeez, sorry guys.
The heavy second stage that happened at T-minus 18 minutes.
So we are inside the T-minus 10 minutes. We are now almost at T-minus 9 minutes and counting.
Engines on the boosters to get ready for engine startup.
Yeah, just like we talked about on the strong
Cool.
back, the team
It's so hot in here. I've got one of them like stress things. It's it looks like a boss, and it's so stretchy now.
getting
Oh.
GOES-U on its way. It's a very heavy satellite.
Richard just
so
closed all his
right off
rings
the
on
Falcon
his
Heavy, but,
on his
Falcon
exercise.
Heavy's gonna give a lot of performance today.
Hey, look,
And
I can
we're finishing up. Looking at the telemetry here. RP1 on the
check
first stage
chat.
is coming to fill levels, and locks on the first stage is almost complete, and second stage locks is about 50%.
Check,
so we're
check.
proceeding very well.
Oh, what?
With, full fuel loading today, and things are going good.
Other one.
That's awesome. And speaking of weather, we are launching.
We are launching
the weather satellite, so we should talk about the launch weather. And we've been watching
Come on,
that,
let's see if this works.
leading up to our launch
Oh, my friend
today.
Zoe's
Right
playing
now,
Grand Theft
great
Auto,
news to report.
and she's streaming.
Launch
Wow.
Weather is go for launch. We have found a hole within the some of the
You
storms that are
stupid
around
thing.
our area. Launch Weather Officer Brian Sizik again confirming that we have found an opportunity to launch today at 5:26 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah, that team worked very quickly. Brian has definitely been very busy this afternoon, but working with Charlie Myers.
Why is it where?
They moved our window 10 minutes, and they were able to find that sweet spot in the weather today. To get
Oh,
things
by
done.
the way, guys,
And,
do you like the thumbnail of this? Oh God,
and, things are
sorry about that. Do you like the thumbnail for this stream? It's super freaking cool.
Be loading 2.8 million pounds of propellant
Right.
into the Falcon Heavy rocket that you see on launch pad 39A here at Kennedy Space Center. Again, so far we've heard call-outs that RP1 loading has been completed in the center booster as well as one of the side boosters. We expect
And I spelt that completely wrong. How the hell can I do that?
Completed for fueling of
Honestly, if I'm sat too far away from my keyboard, I can't type.
Telemetry on the launch vehicle, things are progressing very well. The data.
Negative Y, fuel load complete.
And there we hear the negative Y, fuel load complete. So
Come on.
2 side boosters and center core are complete with RP1, and they're finishing off liquid oxygen tanking into those 3 boosters. We should hear that here.
There we go, I found it.
LOX load will be complete as the spacecraft gets ready to go.
I love the chat.
Continues,
Yeah, it looks really good.
Their GOES U satellite.
I like
As
it.
with the spacecraft, we are also expecting the launch vehicle right now.
That looks really, really good.
transitioning to internal power.
Let's see in my stream from another stream. It looks pretty cool actually.
Again, we are launching GOES U today, the 4th and final weather satellite in the National Oceanic
Nice.
and Atmospheric Administration's.
Yeah, it looks really smooth. Looks really good.
And once operational, GOES U will become GOES East and provide
Right, here we
continuous
go.
imagery and atmospheric
Look
measurements
how
in the
like
Western Hemisphere.
dirty that.
It will monitor weather and
Now-
environmental conditions in near real time. with
Yeah, that
critical
looks
weather
good.
Forecasting and severe storm tracking.
Mm.
T-minus 5 minutes and 10 seconds.
Here we
to
go.
lift off.
Oh, honestly, there's a problem with this chair. Is that I feel like I get comfortable, and then I sit in it for a little bit, and then I'm like, I'm actually not that comfortable.
Falcon Heavy tanks are pressurizing for strong back, retract.
I think, Martin, I'm actually going to get an office chair instead of a gaming chair.
Pressurized for
There's an office chair at my workplace, and it is really, really nice. And let's just say I could sit in it for hours. But I'm sort of coming out of the realization of, right, so you can type on what. Yeah, no, it's cool.
The strong back will then tip back slightly a few degrees.
Yeah,
ready for launch.
I love this chair, and it is good for sitting around and, you know, for a little bit. But once you've sat in it for like an hour, it starts to hurt.
Go, no go pull. The final check.
You sure the weight you're carrying? No, it's definitely the chair. The chair at work is so nice. I keep saying I'm going to nick it. Oh. Right, here we go. So we're coming up to our...
Confirming that weather, right, was the big watch item, and that is not a constraint to launch right now.
That's good.
Yep, the team has looked at all the data. Things continue to progress very well. Weather looks really good out there.
You might have back... Oh, of course I have back issues.
There we hear the final go for launch from Dr.
See, now I'm actually laying about
and LOX load on
what?
the side post. There we hear the
From
second
90.
call, LOX load complete.
I'm probably about a 75-degree angle, and this makes my back feel so much nicer. But when I have it 90 degrees like you're meant to, my back just hurts so much. Yeah, when mine's full upright, it hurts.
You want to mention that Dr.
And I tend to actually slouch over a bit more.
As launch manager.
So.
Yes, very happy to have him.
And also my feet don't actually touch the floor properly, like I'm on tiptoes. So if I was realistically to have my feet flat on the floor.
Stage 1, LOX load complete.
There you go, that's feet flat on the floor. That probably might help as well.
Stage 1, all 3 boosters now have RP1 and LOX on board.
Oh, here we go, guys.
Waiting for the remaining LOX to fill into the second stage LOX tank. And Falcon
I had a leg rest on my previous gaming chair. Yeah, and the little vibrator thing at the back. I've got that on here. Which actually I'm going to pull up now because where I'm sitting back a little bit, my feet touching the floor.
The Falcon Heavy rocket is completely filled.
I tend not to use the massager now. It's just too noisy.
At this point, we are so happy of everything's going, and as you can see on the screen right there, weather outside at Launch Complex 39 looks very good. We're about 1 minute and 50 seconds from launch, and the team's progressing down to get the
how high?
Ready to take over.
I'm too immature for that sentence. I have it round about just behind my back, so sort of just below my ribs. And Martin, don't you dare make a joke out of that.
Finalizing and venting the ground lines that fill the pressure vessels in the Falcon Heavy, so that they're closing off all the ground connections, turning everything over to internal.
Do you know what? It just looks so weird seeing the Falcon 9s with a cone on top.
Arm the flight termination system, and Falcon will be in startup.
Up his nose. Thank you.
Falcon Heavy is in startup.
And that means the Falcon Heavy's flight computer is now in
Here we go, guys. We're under a minute.
Through the last seconds before liftoff.
Do you know, the pond's making me want to go toilet. I can hear the pond. Yes, we are go for launch. Sweet.
Go to send NOAA's GOES-U satellite into space to keep a watchful eye over the Western Hemisphere.
Here we go, guys.
And meteorologists to issue timely warnings and forecasts.
T-minus 30 seconds.
This will be NASA's Launch Services Program's...
Doesn't look like there's anything really happening at LC-39A.
Looking forward to this launch.
For Starship, at least. Nothing's really changed.
15 seconds.
Right, here we go, guys. 15 seconds.
10,
10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
These things only don't lag, yeah. Hey, here we go.
GOES-U, NOAA's newest
Damn.
to monitor the Earth and Sun in high definition.
Oh, look at that. Perfect timing for the bird to go across. Damn. Lag's mad. Oh god, they got all the kids screaming. So this is actually the 10th liftoff of Falcon Heavy. How crazy is that? We've only had 10 launches of Falcon Heavy. Yet we've had 296, I want to say, of Falcon 9s. Look at that. Oh, this is like the old style. This is the actual... Oh, wow. Jeez, look at that. He's having trouble trying to keep up with that.
Supersonic?
Yeah, yeah.
Traveling faster than the speed of sound.
Shall I use the ray? Definitely, yeah. I would say use the leg rest. Jeez, look at that. So you can see the flames actually slightly come up over the legs because of that, like, drag effect of the
on board the rocket, looking down on the Earth that it is leaving. And all 27 Merlin engines providing 5.1 million pounds of thrust.
Jeez, look at that. So I wonder where the storm cell is they were worried about.
At T plus 2 minutes and 28 seconds, the side boosters are going to shut off, while the center core will continue on. Wow, what a shot there of, again, all 27.
This is honestly my favourite part of the whole rocket launch.
5.1 million pounds of thrust.
I wonder what sort of angles we're going to get on the booster. Oh, wow, look at that.
And when the center core shuts off,
oh, dude.
That's called as main engine cutoff, or MECO.
That looks so good.
Side boosters are performing, all boosters are performing.
Oh, that's it, yeah, center it up. I'm going to get a screenshot of this. Oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Side booster separation confirmed.
There we see BECO and side boost.
And backtail.
I don't know if that paused it for you guys, but my whole screen's just dipped out.
Once the center core.
Oh, look at that. Look at the boost back burns. Look at that.
Boost back startup.
A lot of things happening here. So
it's just so like
boosters that are going to be returning to the Cape here, landing
wow.
at zones 1 and 2. These 2 boosters have 3 burns, so we're seeing a boost back burn
all
now.
vehicles
Essentially,
are following nominal trajectories.
That is mental.
These boosters have flipped back and are returning on a path to the Cape here. There will be 2 more burns, a re-entry burn and then a landing burn.
See, look, you can see one of them is coming down faster than the other one. They're not doing the down together anymore. They're doing a 1 and a 2.
Side boosters landing zone 1 and 2.
That looks so good.
26 seconds away from main engine cutoff and the center core separating. Once the center core separates, we will then have MVAC, which is the Merlin vacuum engine.
So I wonder why.
Start up
I wonder if they were having issues like during the landing burn or something. They were having like wake turbulence, maybe.
First of those 3.
Look at that, gone.
There we hear the 2 side boosters have boost back shutdown.
Separation confirmed.
Live footage there.
Look at that. Why does Falcon Heavy look so old in footage wise, and then you get the glorious like second stage cameras which are just beautiful? Because that's basically just a normal Falcon 9 second stage now.
Fairing again is the 2 halves.
Oh.
Fairing separation confirmed.
There we have confirmation the fairing has deployed. The fairings will.
My bottom's hard on the chair. There's not a lot of padding then in your chair.
By the recovery ship.
Look at that.
SpaceX will look to reuse those fairings on a future flight, along with the side boosters. As we see there, they're coming back to Earth to land on landing zone 1 and 2. So things are progressing very well here.
Oh, nice. Hello, Beach Nut.
23 seconds.
I'm just going to saw Starlink formation come over last night. Oh, super awesome. Yeah. I haven't seen a Starlink formation come over here in the UK in at least a year. I've seen like Crew Dragon come across me chasing up the ISS, but it's a 3-year-old gaming chair. Okay, yeah. That's probably why there's no padding left.
As it makes its way into the correct orbit.
That is super cool.
Later today.
I would say we don't get much Starlink stuff come over us anymore. Our sort of shell is done.
There we hear the autonomous flight termination system was safe as it
so we should be coming up to
making sure the vehicle
entry burn now, I think, soon.
For landing.
Where's our entry burn going?
The second stage is currently taking GoesU across the Atlantic towards southern Africa.
Jeez, it's already over southern Africa already.
The satellite is launching on a Falcon Heavy. Only the second time NASA's Launch Services Program is using a Falcon Heavy.
Yeah, we launched our first Falcon Heavy with SpaceX back in October of 23 with the Psyche mission.
Yeah, Psyche,
the
wow.
boosters actually that we used on the Psyche mission will be used for our future mission Europa Clipper this October. So brand new.
Yeah, we've got
for
basically 3 Falcon Heavies this year. So this is our second one, and in October we have the third one.
Who typically watch our launch broadcasts.
There you go, entry alert. Jeez, look at that.
Slowing. You can imagine this as
that is mental.
Brake on your car where it starts slowing the.
It's more than a brake. This is like.
As they.
Ooh.
There we hear the shutdown as the boosters have slowed down. Next thing we will see is the landing burn.
FTS is safe.
Yeah, so it's just down the bottom. If you look at it. Oh wow! Holy cow! That is so impressive. If you can focus it, mate, that'd be great.
Camera's view as well.
Everybody wants to see.
Wow! Oh, there you go.
As we said earlier,
there you go. Look at that.
Exciting. For a lot of people.
It's losing it. It's lost it.
Oh
no! There you go. Oh look! Look at that.
You here in the MPC, we will get some. We will get
Stage 2 FTS is safe.
There we go. Look at the. That's the vapor cone passing through. Sound barrier. Here we go.
Landing burns has started up.
Oh, mate, look at it.
Wow, look at that.
Look at it.
Its way back down.
Oh, there's the double sonic boom.
Sonic booms here in the room.
landing light deploy.
Our monitors shaking as we watch these 2 boosters land.
So you can see the pads just over there. I know someone that is there right now, so they should have a clear view of them landing.
Everybody looks great.
Nice.
On the landing zone 1 and 2 as IMPACT continues its mission with this first.
Oh, okay, it's not.
And there we heard the call out for SECO, which is SECO 1.
So the first stage is basically going to just
and things look very good. The trajectory
boom into the ground.
We hear the call out there that nominal orbit insertion.
See, surely there would be like footage of that core stage actually hitting the atmosphere or hitting the ground or whatever.
And it's making its way across the Atlantic towards southern Africa. This was the first of 3 burns for the second stage. The second stage will now coast for about 18 minutes before reigniting for its second burn. And if you look at the bottom of your screen there, we have a progress
we're all the way up here.
Milestones that we're covering during this live launch.
Here we are.
And SES2, that is that second burn we are talking about. That will happen in, again, about 18 minutes from now. So Mick, as you said, so far so good. Really exciting launch.
Very exciting launch, and we got through that weather, and GoZu's on its way.
Yeah, very dramatic and appropriate weather.
Yeah.
As we and the launch team navigated that to see us lift off from the Space Coast at 5:26 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, we'll be with you for some of the milestones that you see on the bottom of your screen. But for now, let's turn it back to the host desk. Daryl and Alec, take it away.
Hostess.
If you just join us, welcome live to the Kennedy Space Center in Florida.
Right, I'm going to quickly check X.
Launch from right here at the Kennedy Space Center from Launch Complex 39A. I'm with Alec Krautman, who is from NOAA. I am with NASA, and this was a heck of a launch. We watched it out there together. It was interesting. I mean, that rumble and that roar. What do you think?
Oh, man, what a view. How did we get this weather window? It was outstanding. It was beautiful out there.
It was fascinating. You made the point to show me, like, look behind you. Here's these massive clouds that have accumulated behind us, far enough off to the west. But then as we look to the east, it was totally clear. Saw the thing go up the whole way.
Yeah, it's rocking and rolling New Orlando, but we were all good here.
I tell
all
you,
good here.
Appreciate them holding off those storms long enough to get this thing going. Well, now the satellite is surviving the rigors of riding a rocket into space now, but we've got.
Oh man, I can't find anything yet. No one's posted anything. I mean, it was a bit
coast phase before we had
too quick, I think.
The NOAA team will start commissioning the satellite. So as we jump ahead in the timeline, what else does that involve?
Yeah, so these satellites will be.
Oh my God, yes. Oh, here we go. Someone's.
Facility in Suitland, Maryland, and over the next.
Right, here we go, guys. I got a video to show. Here we go.
And then calibration and validating and checking out the instruments. And we'll see first light various instruments later.
There it is. It says 1, Flipping Nora, that's coming in well quick.
Oh, that's cool.
That is mad. There's the double sonic boom. Damn. That is mad. So everyone, go subscribe to What About It on YouTube and everything like that. That is epic. There we go. That is very cool. Okay, can you stop? Stop. I couldn't get it to stop.
A mesovortex is a small-scale rotation in the eye wall of a tropical cyclone, and it can be a telltale sign that a storm is getting better organized and intensifying.
What are they talking about?
Yeah, when we started to notice the mesovortices in the eye, that was during a period of time when we were starting to see some pretty dramatic intercore structural.
Oh yeah, guys, if you haven't seen, there is actually a new movie being released. And it is called Fly Me to the Moon, and a lot of flat earthers are using it as proof that NASA could have faked the moon landings.
Continue to spin
Oh,
around
no.
the eye, even while it was over southern Louisiana.
It's quite unusual for us to be able to see the mesovortices, say, hours after landfall. And the reason is because after a storm comes
where
ashore,
is
it
it?
typically loses its fuel source. It loses its the warm ocean water, and that causes the storm to weaken.
But Ida's mesovortices were still visible over land because of what scientists call the brown ocean effect. Researchers have found that some tropical cyclones can maintain their strength long after landfall.
Right, where the hell's it gone? I literally had. Ah, I lost it.
We think that the reason that remained strong in
I
this
thought was. I couldn't spit on that thing, you know. Oh god.
Hurricane Ida will definitely be a storm for the history books, and its full impacts are still being.
Oh my god. He fired up his bloody thing again.
NOAA satellites will be our eyes in the sky to help forecasters stay
man.
on top
Right.
of these monster storms.
T plus 14 minutes, everything's good with the spacecraft.
Oh god, what's she doing?
Let's check in
Asteroid wet is going off.
NASA's Sandra Connell.
What's she saying?
Boom! Southgate, boom! We are the best country on earth, and we're playing like Arsenal! Hopeless! Sack him now!
You know, absolutely fabulous. Beautiful launch.
Oh my god.
I have to say, I'm privileged to have seen several launches.
Please don't go into a acting job.
As you know, is the fourth in a series of geostationary satellites that actually support
Oh god.
whole weather forecasting system. And so they steer over the U.S.
I mean, she is right though. We are playing like Arsenal.
Really critical data forming and evolving so that we can be prepared.
That's actually jokes.
During and actually support after.
Right, wonder how the middle school is going to feel about students being able to access their phones on their Macs. Yes, but the Mac.
Yes. So we have had partnerships for 50 years with NOAA. We have been building these kind of spacecraft. We develop them, we launch them, we commission them, and then NOAA operates them. And it's to support both terrestrial and space weather. Space weather is basically the sun's sending energetic particles towards, well, throughout the solar system.
Who the bloody hell is this? Why is this being recommended to me?
Our power grids and cause problems for us here on Earth, so it's important to study space weather as much as it is.
Hang on, wait, he's an atheist and a flat earther.
What's next in this NASA-NOAA collaboration?
Yes. So
Wait.
Again, we've had a long-term partnership, so we continue to plan for the future.
So, and there is a
Oh,
video at,
okay. He's not.
series that is going to be the.
It says
the
anti-flat earther.
follow on. So we're very excited to be partnering on that.
Is chat working? Chat is working as far as I can see. You've been told off or something?
And then we have a rideshare mission called Follow On, which is a NOAA mission. So we're going to be advancing our work in space.
As far as I'm aware, it looks like it's okay.
Being here, glad you got to witness that in person.
I noticed actually Rich hasn't joined the chat. He was going to join the chat.
Thank you. And we've been talking, of course, about GOES U and the mission.
Read above.
Track, the rocket and spacecraft there.
I thought is what the
through space, getting ready
thought.
for another burn. Alec, we want to talk a little bit about hurricanes.
I can't read. I'm so tired.
Let's talk about the most deadliest and most
Thought what is was Hawk to spit on the thing.
how can GOES U
God.
with storm surge? Is that possible?
Honestly, that meme.
Delicate aspect of hurricane
The one
is
after that.
Storm surge, the water in general, storm surge and inland flooding. And so from we monitor the strength and intensity of the storm
is chat working?
And after landfall.
Oh, is that? Are you trying to get Nightbot to work? By any chance? Because.
Satellites and from the with the ABI, and it shows the general extent of inundation after a storm.
Stream elements. Let's see if stream elements is working again. Because I'm having lots of problems with. Oh, there's a nice cold breeze coming through. It's still 25 degrees in here. Honestly, it's so hot.
Looking at now is from the polar satellites, and it gives you a better idea of where water is still residual.
Remind me later.
And so this is residual water
Right.
from storm surge and water from flooding from heavy rains.
So this is a valuable tool. As
Bot settings.
emergency managers after
Right,
the
stream
storm,
tools.
because
No.
You got to know where your flooding is. You got to know where the people who are potentially stranded from that kind of water.
Pause
need
alerts,
help.
mute alerts.
Deploy resources and to coordinate response.
All right. So continuing
I don't
to talk
know.
about hurricanes a little bit.
Right.
Earlier in the show, we talked about NOAA's forecast for this year, and it's going to be a super active one. 4 to 7 major hurricanes with 110.
I don't know how to do
Very important
this.
to the folks here in Florida and all the way up to eastern
Elements?
seaboard, as well
No.
as the Gulf.
Overlays?
Why
No.
so many this year?
Add chat?
That's right. We're really seeing
No.
exceptionally warm sea surface
No.
temperatures across the Atlantic Basin, the Caribbean, into the Gulf, and that's the main driver. We're also seeing weaker wind shear along.
Sponsors? No.
For these storms to take off.
Ah, chat. Here we
And
go.
So, when it comes to planning, it's really important that people have a plan. I think it's probably, every year we hear it, start a plan now. Most people, I think, or many people, I should say, probably say.
I said asterisk was. That's the problem. I generally don't think she is. Because, like, on her OnlyFans, it's usually just her and that divvy boy.
One of our Hurricane Hunter aircraft with us at Kennedy earlier today. So, with our satellite imagery from those, the Hurricane Hunter aircraft, we're ready at NOAA for hurricane season. So we encourage.
I'm going to try something. I'm going to see if this works.
You're doing a great job answering my questions.
Yes. Fair enough.
Also, throughout the show, we've been asking you to submit your questions on #AskNASA from the social media. So let's take a few more questions now, if you're good with that, Alec, and let's go ahead and start popping.
Here we go. Let's see if this works.
Space Gamer on X asks, will there be any more launches?
Oh my god, it does. The Able says lean towards no XD. Oh, that's actually kind of funny. Right. Custom commands.
That's a ways from now, but the technology of GeoXO, how different is it going to be from GOES U?
Even more high resolution for the current instruments. We'll have another.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
The lightning mapper. We're also adding a hyperspectral sounder, an ocean color instrument.
I'm just seeing.
and that'll give us more information about our environment and our climate.
All right, another question.
Martin, what's got into you? I mean, probably true, yeah.
Why are the satellites renamed once they reach orbit?
That's right. So on the ground, we go by the letters. So this one was GOES-U. Once it reaches geostationary orbit, it'll be renamed GOES-19. It's indicative of the successful mission once it makes it. This is a risky process, and so it gets a new name once it achieves that milestone.
This is pretty good.
We have the operational GOES-East and GOES-West positions.
All right, very good. Thank you, Alec. Let's send it back now to Philip Hargrove, who was on a packed balcony during launch with a member of NOAA's leadership.
Thanks, Daryl. Yes, I'm here joined by the director of NOAA's Office of Space Weather Observations, El Sayed Talat. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm very pleased to be here.
Yeah, there's some good things up here.
How was the launch? Tell me what your experience was like.
It was fantastic. It was picture perfect. It was beautiful, and the sound was just amazing.
Yeah, really, really was. So we've heard a bit about this compact coronagraph. Can you tell us a bit more about that instrument and why it's important that that's on GOES-U?
So the compact coronagraph, or CCOR-1, is the first
what the hell am I doing? No one's.
And it's a advanced solar telescope that blocks the disk of the sun, so that we can measure the outer atmosphere of the sun, the solar corona. And it's very important to measure that because that's where space weather, extreme space weather events originate. These large explosions off the sun called coronal mass ejections that can send billions of tons of matter hurtling towards Earth at millions of miles per hour.
So it kind of creates its own solar eclipse. As you told me earlier.
Yes,
right?
Basically this telescope will be able to take a solar eclipse and send it down to the forecasters every 30 minutes, within 30 minutes. So sooner than that, and it'll be the continuous operations of having a solar eclipse basically within 30 minutes continuously.
And can you tell me about how this instrument works with the other instruments on board?
So what this instrument does, it allows us what our long-term forecasting in space weather. So 1 to 4 days after we see an explosion off the sun, we measure the characteristics of these explosions and put it into our models that propagate.
Right, I've changed a few things with chat, so if you get banned now, guys,
how big
it's not my fault.
The impact is going to be. And we really need to know that because that's important to protecting our technological infrastructures. These solar storms can affect the power grid, civil aviation,
how long we got left?
Other satellite operations, as well as communications and navigations. And this works in tandem with the other solar instruments on board that measure the solar and EUV, X-ray and EUV irradiance, and image the sun.
So it's all the way over here
The
now.
imagery of the sun gives us the context imagery of the sun that is basically like looking at the Atlantic basin for tropical cyclones as they develop, and then they might develop into hurricanes. We look at the sun with a solar ultraviolet imager to see if these regions of activity, which are centered around sunspots.
Right, guys, I'm going to be right back. I am going to pop to the toilet.
And we measure
I will be
those
right back. Actually, do I might be right back
and the
anymore?
particle instruments that we have on
Oh man, okay, I need to add.
Very interesting. And then what's next?
I'll be right back.
With regards to space weather prediction.
So it's a very exciting time for space weather because we're developing, enhancing our capabilities. We are going to fly next year in 2025 the Space Weather Follow-on L1 mission that is going to be an upstream boom for measuring the solar wind and incoming solar effects 1 million miles upstream of Earth towards the sun.
Very exciting
Let's
stuff. Thank you so
it
much for being here,
down.
and I'll toss it back to you, Megan.
Philip, Meg and I, again, are back here at the Mission Director Center at Hangar AE on Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, and we continue to monitor the teams as they continue the journey to deliver.
I'm popping to the toilet, guys. I will be a couple minutes.
Very well. That first burn, all the telemetry looked very good. Nominal. The vehicle's in coast phase right now. Our next step coming up will be SES-2, that second burn, which we should be hearing here in about 20-25 seconds. Things are progressing well, and GOES-U looks very good.
Again, the milestone bar at the bottom of your screen is where we are in the milestones to getting GOES-U into its correct orbit. SES-2 is that second burn that we're talking about, and we're tracking that for 26 minutes and 19 seconds. So 5 seconds from now. All right, and there we go. We see the MVAC engine on the Falcon Heavy second stage lighting up. This is the second of 3 burns for this engine. This burn is going to last about 1 minute and 27 seconds.
Things are going very well with the launch vehicle as they are on this trajectory that Mark Hammett's talked about, raising that orbit up to where we need to get going for that coast phase to head out to geotransfer. So things are looking very well, and all telemetry on second stage is performing good, or MVAC is performing very well, and telemetry looks like we are heading in the right direction, and vehicle's performing phenomenal.
The image that you're seeing right there, an animation again of where we are, the trajectory that we have been keeping an eye on, and as you said, that we had an interview about earlier in the broadcast.
Yep, we are about 20 seconds from SECO 2, and the vehicle is progressing in a good velocity, stage 2 velocity, and putting GOES-U where it needs to be and making that adjustment in the trajectory that Philip and Mark talked about. And things look good as we're getting ready for MVAC shutdown here in about 5 seconds. Things still progressing well. And there we see MVAC shutdown, and we are beginning this coast phase. Megan, things look good on the vehicle as we are watching the telemetry screens here from SpaceX. The vehicle performed very well.
Nominal transfer orbit.
And there we heard the call out for a nominal transfer orbit, and we get ready for this long coast before our third burn.
Absolutely, a long coast phase. We're looking at a coast phase of about 3 hours and 53 minutes. Again, this is a very well choreographed to the second trajectory that gets us to that geostationary transfer orbit that you're talking about. LSP's mission is to deliver GOES-U to that geostationary transfer orbit, and while it's there, they're going to do some checkouts of the satellite, and then once operational in geostationary orbit, that is where GOES-U becomes GOES East, and we'll keep a continuous watch over the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah, as we get GOES-U on its way today, things progressing forward. As Alex said, it's very exciting to see the liftoff of the Falcon Heavy with GOES-U. Second stage is performing very well on that, and as we can see on the screen there, that stage 2 is coasting where it needs to get to, that normal geotransfer orbit insertion that we've heard about from Mark and Philip, and things are going to progress very well as the vehicle orients itself and gets GOES-U oriented on its way for that third burn, which will be a very important burn to finalize the mission to get ready for deployment. And part of that would be that the Falcon Heavy performed so well today that will that extra performance we had will give GOES-U a little bit of extra life on orbit, because they don't have to use as much spacecraft fuel to get to geostationary. So vehicle performance looked very good today.
Yeah, GOES-U, the GOES satellites are designed to have 15 years of life, but because we are saving propellant on the spacecraft, because Falcon Heavy is delivering it farther towards this orbit, we are looking at a 20 plus
Almost
year
20
life.
years,
Yep. So again, just any other check of the spacecraft before we sign off for a little bit for this coast phase, Meg?
Nope, everything looks good on the spacecraft side. They are operating on batteries. As Mark said, they are on the right trajectory with the sun in the right position to get ready for deployment, and after deployment they'll get some of their solar arrays out, partial solar array deployment, to be able to charge those batteries and get going, and then begin their work in the next few weeks to get to geostationary.
All right, so again, a coast phase of just under 4 hours. Mick and I are going to pop in at the top of every hour, so 7 and 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, to give you some quick updates about how everything's going. But for now, let's toss it back to Philip.
Thanks, Megan. Yes, I'm here with the NOAA administrator, Rick Spinrad. Thank you so much for being here with me.
I'm delighted to be here for this wonderful occasion.
Awesome. Yeah, tell me about the occasion. What was your experience like?
So this was obviously an awesome experience, seeing the launch. I've got to say that it's a seminal event. It happens over just a few minutes, but you realize there's years and years and thousands of hours of contributions from everybody, and see it come together so beautifully, so well done, so comprehensively is awesome in the literal sense of the word.
Absolutely. Thank you for that perspective. Can you tell me a bit about why this satellite is important to the nation?
So for us at NOAA, we feel that our main responsibility is providing environmental intelligence about the Earth so that people can make decisions about economics, about safety, about protection of property. This satellite is a critical component in our understanding what's happening in the Earth, the ability to watch it, see storms forming, see smoke moving, see all the changes in the patterns of the currents in the oceans, and use that then to provide decision support. All of this is contributing to what we hope will be a climate-ready nation. We can only be climate-ready and be prepared for the impacts of change and devastating weather and climate events if we've got the information upon which we can make decisions.
Right. And can you talk about how NOAA collaborates with NASA to get that information and achieve those goals?
We've been working with NASA for decades. It's a wonderful collaboration. In fact, if you look at the people at the launch here, many of them worked in both agencies for many years. And basically, to define the sort of swim lanes of responsibility, NASA is the acquisition agent. They have responsibility for making sure the satellite and sensors are built according to the specifications. NASA also obviously provides the launch services that we saw here today. NOAA is the operator and manager, so when the system becomes operational, we also provide the funding for the acquisition. But by this spring, when GOES-U becomes GOES-19, it will be an operational satellite. That will be our responsibility to be monitoring the health and using the data 24/7, 365.
Awesome. And can you tell me about what you're looking forward to with this collaboration?
The continuation and continue to build the capabilities. NASA brings some incredible innovation to the table that we're going to build into the next generation of satellites. GeoXO is the continuation of the GOES-R series. We'll be launching GeoXO in about 2032, and between now and 2032, I expect nothing more than the continued great collaboration and innovation we've seen between NASA and NOAA over the last several decades.
Awesome. Thank you so
Right,
much. That's
guys,
exciting
I'm
stuff.
back.
So,
I'm
appreciate
back.
you telling me all about it, and thank you for being here.
Thank you. My pleasure.
All right, back to you.
Thank you, Philip.
I am
And,
back.
That was a nice burn that we just saw there. Still good.
How we
things
going?
happening.
Phenomenal. On the way to
Oh.
orbit.
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
Stoked about that. All right.
Okay, so
now,
we've had-
GOES-U will coast for almost 4 hours.
Oh, wow.
Before spacecraft separation. Alec and I are going to step aside during that time, but of course, we're going to be keeping track on what's happening. There'll be a live tracking animation of the journey the entire time. And of course, we'll have brief updates on GOES-U from Megan and Mick on the hour. But before we break, after the successful launch
Yes,
of the
I'm
weather
back
satellite,
again.
we want to celebrate
Just to
a little
find
bit
out
by
there's a
showing
4-hour break.
and sharing some of the best weather art submitted to us by kids from around the world. And the theme of this campaign, what was it, Alec?
Lightning.
We like lightning. And there it is.
Steve Lightning.
Part of NASA's
Lightning McQueen.
Space Place Art Challenge, where every month we invite kids to draw something space related or make some art out of it. You can see it's not all drawn. In honor of GOES-U's launch today, we asked kids to draw what lightning looks like or make some lightning. And there were hundreds of submissions that you see there. If you want to see the rest of them, you can just scan the QR code at the lower right-hand part of your screen. You can see all 23 finalists. I even saw somebody made one with Legos.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Cascades, the Pacific Northwest made it in there. Lightning over Mount Hood. Wow.
Lightning was striking Mount Hood. Yeah, that's cool. Good stuff. Thank you to all the kids who submitted that art. So now stay tuned
welcome.
for continued coverage of the GOES-U satellite during its coast phase. Alec and I will rejoin coverage at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time to bring you the final third burn and live images of GOES-U separating from the rocket. Until then, have a good night.
Man, that is like ridiculously late. Unfortunately, I've got to go to bed. So, shall I put full screen? Well, I'm now ending the stream anyway because I've got a lot of coursework to do for tomorrow. So I'm going to go and do some coursework and then probably go to bed if I can because it's stupidly hot. So guys, thank you very much for joining me. Bit more of a chilled stream with the lighting all calmed down. So thank you very much guys for watching. We will have, hopefully we will have a stream tomorrow, I'm trying to think what I might do. Microsoft Flight Simulator again, because I've got a few mods that I've added, and yeah, it's pretty cool. So guys, that will be it for tonight. I shall see you guys tomorrow for another stream. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I'm Lee. Fly safe, land safe. I'll see you guys later. Bye.